Hey everyone, Josh here with a close-up look at a Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox a clone trooper from the 212th Battalion from the Black Series. And of course this is a character, as you can see on the box, from the Clone Wars. So let's go ahead and get him out of here, but before we do, I just want to real quick take a look at the packaging. And you guys can see they got the artwork on the side, and then also, of course, we have a character description, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys real quick. Clone Trooper from the 212th Battalion. Far superior to battle droids, clone troopers formed the backbone of the Republic's new military that waged war against the forces of the Confederacy of the Independent Systems. Alright, so that was kind of a quick and sweet and short little character description there. Let's go ahead and get him out of here, though. And so if you're more interested in clones and you want to learn more about them and the battalions and the actual character names, and if you haven't done it, I would recommend watching the Clone Wars TV show. So they get into some of the clone characters and who they are and how they interact, or they just get into the clones a lot more. So one of the reasons this guy's designated as a 212th, this was the battalion that Obi-Wan Kenobi was in command of, and they did appear in the films. These are actually the guys that you saw in Revenge of the Sith when they went after Grievous. This was that battalion. So, and his clone commander from the movies, he did talk to him, was Commander Cody. So, but anyway, here we go. Let's look at the figure. So he does come with the shorter version of the clone rifles that they had in the films, and then that is unfortunately the only accessory he comes with. Some of the other clone troopers, they do come with multiple rifles. Unfortunately, this guy does not. So alright, let's just check him out and look at him here. And one of the other things I wanted to kind of tell you guys before we get into the articulation here is this figure was a Walgreens exclusive. So if you're looking to purchase him, you'll probably have to do it online from a third-party person. I'm not sure that you'll find one of these in a Walgreens anymore. But yeah, it's just a pretty standard clone. The thing that's kind of special about him more than anything is the fact that he's from the 212th, and he's got the yellow paint on the armor, but his elbow's really stiff there. I'm trying to get it to actually bend. Okay, so let's, real quick, we're going to run through his articulation here and see what we got. And thought I heard the helmet clicking, like it's locks in position. All right, so starting at his head here, we should have full rotation, and you have it up and down, and yeah, it does feel like he's on a ball joint, so very nice. And then going up here, okay, that's interesting. I've never seen that done with a clone trooper before. Sometimes they have issues where the armor pieces will hit, and it kind of restricts the articulation of the figure. And what they did here, it looks like they made the shoulder piece flexible, and it also kind of rides over the chest piece, so that gives you a little more movement on the shoulder articulation. And then you have a rotation at the shoulder. You should have rotation at the arm too, but I'm trying to see, sometimes they put it at the elbow, and sometimes they put it sometimes they put it higher up on the arm, but okay. Oh, I can't really see if I can get him to do arm rotation on his articulation here. So let's see here. Okay, so that's interesting. I've never seen him do a clone trooper like this before. So, okay, so he does have elbow articulation. That's the up and down, but he also has rotation at the elbow. But what's kind of unique is this elbow piece they put on here is a little bit different. I've never seen this done on a clone on a trooper before. It normally it moves with the arm, and it's not doing, it's just, I've never seen it done that way before. But you do have the rotation at the elbow, but for some reason the elbow piece, at least maybe mine's broken or something, the elbow piece here isn't rotating with the arm, so it's kind of restricting his elbow rotation. All right, but then going down, you got wrist rotation and back and forth on the wrist. Should have rotation on the torso here, and you have back and forth. So yeah, it feels like he's on a ball joint in the center. And then going down to the legs, that's all your backwards movement. That's all your forward movement. And seeing this is another example of the armor restricting the movement a little bit. And then down at the knee, you should have, yeah, that's interesting. They did it on the legs too. It's like the you have rotation at the knee, but it's just different than I've ever seen them do it before. The knee pad usually kind of goes with the lower part or the lower arm, and it sticks on this one. So that's interesting. All right, very cool. And then down here at the ankle, you should have rotation and up and down. Yeah, well, no, they didn't put the rotation on the ankle. Okay, so, well, yeah, they did. Okay, it's just, all right, there it is. We got it to rotate. Okay, yeah, this guy's just designed a little bit differently than most of the figures I've handled. So, yeah, it's just, they did a different design with his articulation. It's, I'm not saying it's better or it's worse. It just seems a little bit different, but all right, so very interesting. So, oh my goodness, this character's articulation is really stiff on me. I'm trying to get the feet to sit normal. Okay, so then going from there, of course, we have the blaster, and what I want to do is see how he interacts with it. But before we do that, let's just check out real quick his hand sculpts. And you can see they just kind of have, they almost look identical. Just kind of the open fist type of pose, but the only difference I see really is on his right hand. The trigger finger is separated, where on his other hand, all the fingers are still together. So I'm assuming that's because he will interact with the trigger assembly here. Let's see here. Well, it's lining up. He's just, his fingers aren't completely going in. But yeah, what they're trying to do here is get the trigger finger to go through the trigger guard. And you can see it looks good. It looks right. But normally, sometimes, some of the ones they do better, the finger actually goes through the trigger guard. This one just kind of lines up with it. You can kind of push it in there, I guess. But, I mean, it looks good. It's a good natural hold on the gun. It looks good. And he's got a good grip on it. Not letting go. And then to be thorough, definitely want to check the other hand. And yeah, and you can see why they split the trigger finger. You see how it sits a little bit higher in this hand. And yeah, I mean, it still looks good. He holds it. So if you want to put it in different varying hands. But the other thing is, if you know, you're the kind of collector that mixes and matches parts and you wanted to have, you know, him hold two blasters or whatever. So, okay, very good. Yeah, I still can't get over how the articulation is different. I just did a couple troopers recently, video reviews, and the articulation were completely different. So it's kind of surprising to me. All right, so there he is with his blaster. And the one final little test I like to give every figure is I want them to be able to stand on their own, so you don't have to buy extra accessories or extra stands. And this guy definitely does that, no problem. All right, there you go, guys. There he is, everyone, from the Clone Wars show. This is the Clone Trooper from the 212th Battalion from the Black Series line. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.